And we're going, so hopefully our microphone will work well. I think that it will. So, couple things to remember. Number one, our learning goal has not changed. I can explain how conflict positively and negatively changed the Greek city-states. So as we are hearing the Iliad, we are listening for conflict. We are trying to figure out how that conflict helped Greece and ways that conflict hurt Greece. Okay? Just as a recap, yesterday when we left off, what was going on with our story? Yeah.
Agamemnon is like very mad about like the prophecy or whatever.
Right. Agamemnon was very mad about the prophecy. And what exactly was the prophecy that he was mad about? So, I know you're not the only person. Yeah.
That he would have to give the girl away.
He was going to have to give the girl back because he didn't take the ransom. And because he didn't take the ransom and didn't take the girl, what was the punishment that all of Greece was experiencing? Yeah. The plague, right? So in order for the plague to be lifted, there were three things that had to happen. What were the three things that had to happen for the plague to be lifted? Give me one.
He had to return her without getting ransom.
So that's 1 and 2. He had to return the girl. He could not get any of the ransom for it. And what was the third thing that they had to do? Yeah.
A sacrifice.
They had to do a sacrifice. Okay? So that's kind of where we left off. Today, in our 10 minutes, we are going to get to rising action number 8, it should be. Okay? Rising action number 8 is where we're going to get to. So let's be prepared for that. Because we're on 4, we're going to make it to 8. So right now, are we on 5? Let's see. All right, hold on.
The next one we're gonna do is 6.
This was the last one that we did, correct? Yeah. Okay. So you should need to write this down, but we haven't read the part where it gets to number 6 yet. Okay? So that's where we're looking at, and we will kind of go. You can scooch over a little bit, or you can, as long as you Velcro it back, you can do that. Okay. And remember, Agamemnon just kind of finished saying, if I don't get reimbursed for losing my girl, it's going to be bad for everybody. So that's kind of where we are, and we'll backtrack just a little bit. Achilles scowled at Agamemnon and answered, You are steeped in stupidity and greed. With a heart that any of the Greeks, do you really think that in your heart any of the Greeks will do your bidding? Understand this, Agamemnon. I did not come here to fight because I have problems with the Trojans. I have no quarrel with the Trojans. They have not stolen my cattle. The Trojans have not burned my fields. The Trojans have not attacked me or my family. We are here because we followed you, the king of stupidity, for your pleasure, for your gain, not for ours. You forget this. And you threaten to rob me of my prize, which the Greeks awarded to me? Never, when we finish ransacking a city, do I get a prize as good as yours, Agamemnon. Never do I get as much money. Never do I get so fair a maiden as you. And when the sharing gets done, you have the largest share. And I must go back to my ships and take the little pittance that I've been given, and I'm supposed to be thankful for it. Now, therefore, I will go back to my land. It would be much better for me to return home in my ship than to stand here and be dishonored by you just to gather gold. And Agamemnon answered, Fire away then, if you will. I'm not going to make any prayers or beg you to stay. I have others here who will do me the honor that you will not. And above all, King Zeus will hear what I have to say. Achilles, there is no one here as hateful to me as you. None of the other leaders are disrespectful to me as you. What? You think you're brave? Was it not the heavens and the gods that made you brave because you're invincible? It's easy to be brave when you cannot die. So go home then with your soldiers and your Myrmidons. I care neither for you, your anger, or your disrespectful attitude. Matter of fact, here's what I will do. Since Apollo is demanding that my girl Chryseis be taken from me, I will send her on the ship back to her father. But know this, Achilles, and understand, I shall come to your tent, and I will take your girl Briseis from you, for no other reason than that you shall learn how much stronger I am than you, that I am better than you, and that I am your general. You and the other captains will understand that you are not my equal. Upon hearing this, Achilles, the son of Peleus, was furious, and his heart beat within his shaggy chest and was divided on whether or not he should push aside the crowd, draw his sword, and plunge it through Agamemnon's chest, or if Achilles should restrain his anger and check his impulses. While he was deciding between these two choices, he began to lunge towards Agamemnon and draw his mighty sword from his scabbard. At this moment, Hera came down from heaven, for both her and Athena loved the Greeks. Hera grabbed Achilles by his blonde hair, visible to no one but Achilles. None of the other Greeks could see her, and Achilles turned in amazement. And by the fire that flashed from her eyes, he knew at once that he was looking at the goddess Hera. "Why are you here, goddess?" he said. "Did you come to witness how Agamemnon's pride will lead to his death, and how he shall surely pay for his disrespect with his life?" And Hera said, Minerva's her Roman name. And Minerva said, "I have come from heaven. Listen to me. Control your anger. Athena and I agree. We care for the Greeks alike." Now, pause for just a second. This is part of the story, but it's important. Remember how did this whole war start?
Because Agamemnon didn't he shout at the old guy?
So, my fault. That was not a good question. Not the argument here. How did the Trojan War start? Okay, what was one of the two things?
Athens. The apple with the three.
Right, the apple with the three goddesses. What was the other thing?
The prince steals the.
I don't remember. Well, Athena and two others came down to the prince of Athens and promised, and they'll keep.
Close. Not the Prince of Athens, the Prince of Troy. Yes.
And they all promised to give him a gift if they thought he was the prettiest.
Excellent.
They were the prettiest.
So we're good. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's the part we need to remember. This is why this is super important. Remember, there were three goddesses that were all fighting over the apple: Aphrodite, Hera, and Athena. If we notice in the story, which two goddesses were on the side of the Greeks? Athena and Hera, right? So the goddess Hera came and grabbed Achilles. So imagine this, right? Achilles has decided Agamemnon is going to die. He's grabbing his sword. He's getting ready to push Greeks away. Out of nowhere, dude just stops, right? Nobody can see this goddess that is holding him back. The goddesses that are holding him back, it was Athena and Hera. They are rooting for the Greeks. Now, why would Athena and Hera be rooting for the Greeks? Because go ahead, yeah.
They, like you said earlier, they already care about them.
But why do they care about them? Why are they picking the Greeks and not the Trojans? Think back to how the war started. Got an idea? You got an idea? Because they weren't picked. So, because they're being kind of petty, and because they weren't picked, Athena and Hera are siding with the Greeks. And they know if Achilles kills Agamemnon, are the Greeks going to be able to win the war? No. If we were to infer, which goddess is going to be rooting for and helping the Trojans? Aphrodite, because she was the one that got picked. Okay? And unpause. And Hera said, I come from heaven, and if you will hear me to calm your anger. Athena has sent me because we both care for you alike. Please stop this fighting, and do not draw your sword in anger at Agamemnon. Do not draw your sword at Agamemnon. Yell at him if you must, argue with him if you have to, but do not kill him. If you control your anger, you will be rewarded. And I tell you, as a goddess, it shall surely be. If you stay your anger, Greece will defeat Troy, and you will receive gifts 3 times as splendid by reason of accepting this insult. Therefore, hold your anger and obey the goddesses. Goddess, answered Achilles, no matter how angry I am in my heart, and no matter how badly I want to fell Agamemnon, a man must do as 2 goddesses command him. So, does Achilles want to listen? No, he doesn't. He wants to kill Agamemnon. But he is going to listen because these are 2 goddesses. Functional importance, right? Obey the gods and goddesses. This will be best, for the gods hear the prayers of the men who obey them. After saying this, Achilles puts his hand back on the silver hilt of his sword and puts it back in his scabbard, just as he was commanded by the goddess. And she went back to Olympus among the other gods to the house of Zeus. But Achilles again began insulting Agamemnon. You drunk! You with the face of a wild dog and the heart of an ass. Now, pause right there before you go home. Mr. Seymour's cussing in class. Remember, back then, an ass is what they called a donkey, right? So, he's saying he has the face of an ugly dog and the heart of a donkey, which is stubborn and they get scared a lot, right? Right? Oh, I know. But, public service announcement. You drunk, he cried, with the face of a wild dog and the heart of an ass. You never go out to fight with us. No, you always send other men out to go and do the fighting for you. You shun this and run away from fighting just as you run away from death. You would rather go round and round and steal prizes from the men who actually fight than go do it yourself. You devour and rule over the people of your kingdom because they are weak. You are weak. Therefore, I say this, and I swear with an oath. No, instead, I say this with my scepter as a king. I, from this point forward, solemnly swear that I will no longer fight for the Greeks. And you, Agamemnon, in your stupidity and in your arrogance will look back as you see scores of Greek men die. You shall look around the battlefield for your greatest champion Achilles, and he shall not be there. As your men fall from the murderous hand of Hector, you will have no way to help them or save them. And in your cold, black heart, you will know the hour of revenge because of the insult you have placed over the bravest of your soldiers. Upon saying this, Achilles threw his scepter to the ground and sat down in a huff. As he sat, Agamemnon began pacing furiously on the other side of the assembly. Then stood up the old man Nestor, and the words fell from his lips like sweet honey. Okay. Well, yes, like I said, I'm not necessarily going to tell you these are coming up, right? So we will stop at number 7 because if we have to go back and write it, we're not really going to have time. So here's what I'm going to do. Since I'm recording and I want to explain what we're doing next, put a pause on this. We won't get to 8. That's okay. I will leave this up. After I explain what we are doing next, you can come back to this. So do not write this because I need your full attention, okay? So stop writing, focus on me. This will be up here in a moment. But again, since I'm going to explain what we are doing next, I want to make sure that we're all understanding. So I'm going to explain this before we go to lunch. And then when we go to lunch, would you mind moving that book, please? Thank you. When we get back from lunch, this is going to be what we jump into. Okay? So,